So every time I see a Star Wars fan out in public, if I see a sticker on their car or I see them wearing a piece of merch from Star Wars, I know that they're a Star Wars fan, right? But the problem is, if I went up and talked to this person, about Star Wars, would they hate me? Would they be like, you know what? You're on the side that I don't agree with, so I hate you. Get away from me, I think the fandom's been divided way too long. I think it's time to come to an end and come back together here. A lot of the culture has shifted back to kind of the middle, it seems like. There's some good stuff coming out of Star Wars right now. There's some great stuff, actually. And so I asked the question on Twitter. X is trying to get me to pay them. I can't read my own tweet. So it says, what would bring all Star Wars fans back together? And I asked this in the Star Wars community. I think it's the biggest community on Twitter for Star Wars, is the Star Wars community. So I asked it here, and the tweet did really well. It actually got out to almost 10,000 people, as you can see. So I said, hey, I'm going to use all your answers, and we're going to put this in a nice package, and we're going to send it right to Disney. I'm going to send this to Disney, straight to Disney's front door. So the video will be up on my channel. So don't forget to subscribe. By the way, if you want Star Wars talk that's not just what everyone else is saying, that's kind of what I like to do here. News, we go into the lore. That's why this channel is called The Lore Night. We talk about Star Wars news. We talk about the lore. I create my own lore because I'm an indie comic artist, so that's kind of where the Lore Night came from. But let's talk about this tweet. So I'm going to go through the responses right now. Let me know what you think. Let me know if any of these ring true to you, or what you think would bring Star Wars fans back together at this point, because it's going to be tough. Star Wars fans hate each other more than any other. I can't think of any other fandom right now that hate each other as much as each half of the Star Wars community. So let's take a look at these responses here. Gary says, Alec Guinness returning. Short of that, Shatner could be the new Sith Lord. I said that would be amazing. Absolutely. I love Alec Guinness. Everybody loves, Obi-Wan. He made Obi-Wan. But that's not going to happen. And hopefully it doesn't happen with CGI, because that would be an abomination. Here's Mike Barron. The great Mike Barron, writer of Punisher back in the day and creator of Nexus. A good script, the most important element of any movie. Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. A good script makes a story. It brings people in no matter what the story's about. If it's a good script, it's going to help save Star Wars. That's been desperately needed lately. Making Star Wars Wizard again says, conclusive storytelling versus jumping around on multiple projects. Yes, they have been doing like solo a Star Wars story deals here lately with Star Wars. Every show is like a one-shot comic book instead of a cohesive story to follow, so I do agree with that. More Ewoks movies, says Kirk Carr. It's kind of funny because Ewoks was like the first thing that kind of divided Star Wars fans back in the day. And if Ewoks came back right now to like reunite the fans, it would be like poetry. It rhymes, But at this point, I don't know. Maybe Ewok movies might do the trick. Who knows? Big Box says George. Yes, George needs to come back. They need to pay George a shitload of money to come back and do this and fix this Star Wars universe here. I said, do you think he'd come back? Nope. So yeah, probably not. You're right about that, but George coming back would definitely help things. I think he could get things back on track if he wanted to, but he might be just too old and retired. He's like, I'm done. Elon Musk says, Star Wars brings Star Wars fans back together. People that talk shit about Star Wars are not the fans, they're just trolls. And I found this one interesting. I think Elon Musk here is talking about probably the other side, and he's probably talking trash about the other side. But at the same time, that's a good point, because there are people on YouTube that all they do is talk shit with no valid constructive criticism for Star Wars. If you're just going to talk shit about Star Wars all day and say, oh, Star Wars is dead, then there's no reason for you to really be part of the conversation, honestly. Chef Boy Are These says, a Darth Vader show with AI James Earl Jones from his prime. Not the elderly version we got in Rogue One. Add Dr. Aphra to the show. A Rogue Squadron show focusing solely on X-Wing versus TIE Fighter combat and struggles of the pilots. Darth Bane. Something either so far in the past or so far in the future that it's not tainted by the flawed prequels or sequel trilogy. So this Star Wars fan doesn't even like the prequels. I'm a big prequel fan. You know, I grew up in that era. A lot of people don't like the prequels or the sequels, and this is probably like an older fan here. They're just like, the first 3 movies were the best. That was Star Wars. Everything else is crap. So yeah, but I agree. Darth Bane, a Rogue Squadron movie would be amazing. I mean, as long as there's a Jedi in there somewhere, a Sith, that'd be amazing. AI James Earl Jones, though, I'm not sure I agree with that, because I don't want them bringing anybody back basically that's AI robot, because it's just weird. I don't like putting AI. I don't like bringing people back from the dead, because it's not natural and it doesn't look right, man. Whenever they brought Princess Leia back, it just felt off. It felt strange. I don't know. Sin says a trilogy with more Jedi stories as there were in the first and second trilogies. I like the last trilogy, but not as good as the first 2 trilogies, but I personally miss the Jedi fight stories in these movies. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, do you see the difference between fans here, though? It's really interesting to see what other people think, because you kind of just think, you know, it's one side or the other. This person likes it all, but likes the first 2 trilogies better, obviously. Jedi fights and stories, yeah. Firebrand says it's not the character or the story that will bring fans back together. It's solid writing with conviction, a cohesive direction for the overall franchise to push in so fans can be constantly look forward to future projects. It needs new, better management led by creatives. I agree. There's another one for the cohesive storytelling that we need. We just need one long story, kind of get back to that. Benoit Blanc's bestie says nothing. There's literally no scenario where everyone likes something. True, but something could bring most of the fans back, I think. Heal the fandom. Star Wars media needs a unifying thread. The Galactic Civil War was the perfect framework for stories, but at some point, every inch of the galaxy is mapped out. There needs to be a new conflict with new factions that logically extends from the original movies. Yeah, I mean, I think they're trying to do that in Ahsoka with Thrawn, but it still feels like all these shows are just their own thing. Like, if we put Thrawn in the movies and did a trilogy, I agree. Spam Gristle. Thanks for that comment. Mark Canepa says, Old Republic content don't even need the previous actors in any way, which negates the nostalgia conundrum, while still servicing something true Star Wars fans will surely enjoy. Yes, everybody's been asking for Old Republic content. We all want to see it. We all want the new trilogy to be about the Old Republic. I think they hinted at that during Skeleton Crew, so that's a good sign. I honestly think that that's coming, because I think that they know what we want, and I'm going to go into that later. Rock says 3 movie series, each one about the backstories of Grievous, Dooku, and then Maul. That would be cool, you know, more one-shot stuff, but yeah, absolutely bring back the old characters that they know everybody likes. Everybody likes Grievous, Dooku, and Maul. Keon says Kennedy leaving, it's a start if anything. Yeah, this is a whole separate video, but they basically announced that she's leaving. She said she's not leaving, she's gonna die making movies, but they're gonna bring a replacement in for her anyway. It's a whole separate thing. I might do a short on that, but yeah, absolutely get her out of there, get new leadership. Koi says, like anything good from the IP, probably. Yes, we want good stuff, like anything good. Absolutely. CD says a movie about the Sith Empire, VVD, the Jedi versus the Jedi. The Sith Empire versus the Jedi goes back to the Old Republic. Let's bring back the Old Republic. I think that's what you want there, CD. Luke, bringing back George Lucas's original plans for the sequels. Yes, I like this one a lot because, like I said in another video, I'd like to see them use time travel to wipe out the sequel, or not wipe out the sequels, but kind of just make them a separate timeline. Let's just push that or change it. Bring back George's plans for the original trilogy, the Wheels of the Force, all that stuff. I think they're going to do that with Ahsoka, but it's just a show, man. We need some movies. Alexa says a good Andor season 2. Yes, let's get it. I can't wait for that to come out. Name cannot be blank says a movie about Vader as he haunts Ghost Vader. Yes, as he hunts the Jedi, R15 rated. Yeah, let's get some violence in there. Honestly, Reckless says a prequel to The Force Awakens with Han, Luke, and Leia. Small CGI that redeems Luke's character and explains his action in The Last Jedi. A prequel to The Force Awakens with Han, Luke, and Leia that redeems Luke's character. Yeah! Whenever I think about how Star Wars is screwed up, it's Luke Skywalker. It all goes back to Luke Skywalker. I feel like they're bringing him back, and I will make another short about that, but I think that they're bringing him back in a big way. I'm not just hoping. I think that that's what they're going to do. But yeah, absolutely fix Luke Skywalker's character. Disney, fix Luke Skywalker. That's what we need. We need Luke Skywalker back as the hero of Star Wars. Call and Go Andor 2, I truly can't understand any critics of that show. So well done. It is a great show. I love it. But let's try to understand, maybe try to understand what people are saying about it. It's been a while since Andor season 1, so I don't remember all the criticism, but maybe we can look at that. The Star Wars Closet says only one can. Misa gonna try. Misa gonna try. I can't do his voice, but yeah, only one can save Star Wars. That's Jar Jar Binks. Bring Jar Jar Binks back. Darth Jar Jar movie, a Darth Jar Jar trilogy where he just slaughters an entire galaxy. That would be amazing. Yes, bring Jar Jar Binks back. They did bring Jar Jar back in the Lego movie, in the Lego Star Wars movie. What was it called? I forget, but it was fun. So he's technically canon in the Star Wars universe. Darth Jar Jar is canon. Let's get that started. Thanks, Star Wars Closet. Here's some spam. It's a possible spam. Probable. Oh, that's even more than possible. Ember says a parody account. The toxic part of the fandom not being toxic. Okay. They're talking about one side or the other. I'm not sure. You gotta stop being so toxic out there, guys. Star Wars Timeline. How come this was in the spam? Star Wars Timeline. Number 1, throw all Disney continuity away. Number 2, clear out all DEI socialist propaganda. Number 3, hire people who understand George's vision. Number 4, focus on traditional heroic archetypes and family story the franchise is built on. Yeah, I like this answer. This is a great answer. I don't know why it was spam. Probably because it says about clear out DEI socialist propaganda. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Let's get back to what Star Wars used to be. It used to be good versus evil and politics. There's another video that I actually already made, but I was too lazy to edit, and I'm going to have that one out. We're going to talk about politics and Star Wars next. But I think that is all of the... Let's see if that's it. Let's make sure we view quotes here. A peak story animated series. Yeah, peak anything. Animated is cool. Are they done with animated projects other than Star Wars Visions now? I think they're done with animating other than like Visions and probably something else coming out that I don't know about. Esri Liu says Yoda doing a dab and saying peace to the galaxy. Sure, let's dab it up. Disney, there's what the fans want. I think you can sum it up by saying the fans want a cohesive story. The fans want characters that they love from the Old Republic back. Maybe an Old Republic story. Maybe throw some Ewoks in there. Maybe bring George Lucas back to provide actual notes and actually follow them. A good script. Mike Barron says a good script. Bring the best script writers that you have. Bring everybody that you can bring in and make this the best Star Wars script that we've ever seen, even better than The Empire Strikes Back. Make the stories consecutive, make them parts of one story. Let's just have a new trilogy and make it one damn story. Sith Empire is a great one to go into, okay? These are great ideas, and it's what people like. And you know what people like because you're selling Mara Jade's lightsaber hilt, and you know darn well it's gonna sell out. But Legends is still written on there, and you won't make your canon. You should just make all that stuff that you know the fans like canon, and maybe they'll buy it as much as they bought. That hilt is sold out. Thank you to everybody that responded to this. Hopefully I'll get another big tweet chain going up and we can make another video like this. Who knows? If you like it, let me know what you think down below. If you didn't get to post on this tweet, let me know in the comments right now. What do you think would bring all the Star Wars fans back together? Is there anything that can? Anyway, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe for more. I'm going to be making more of these badass shorts that are getting a ton of views. I'm going to be making more videos. All Star Wars, baby. We're talking all Star Wars right now. So again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Put your thoughts down below there in the comments and I will get back to you. Maybe I will click the promote button on this tweet and get a bunch more responses and make another video. Who knows? I'll see you next time. Have a good one.